Let's just straight hop into it. In the bottom right here, spawning is our red Protoss player playing for Team Liquid. It is SKillous.
And his opponent in the top left, spawning in the blue, not walling. It is Astrea, representing Matcherino Esports.
Oh, Maxwell the Angel. That's such a beautiful name. Holy crap.
Yeah, great name.
That's actually such a Maxwell. Oh, no. Yeah, this is one of the things that Astrea actually likes to do. He likes to not wall. And I don't entirely know what the reason is for it. Well, I think I know what the reason is. In case he's being proxy, there's not as many valuable structures in the wall, I guess, which he technically could still do as well otherwise, but pish posh, it is what it is. And he's going to put the second pylon in the wall most of the time. I've also seen him play games, by the way, where he proxies both of his first two gateways and then just plays a standard two-gate opener anyway. So it's like a fake proxy in a way. I've also seen him proxy a single gateway, and I followed up with a proxy Stargate. He did that to me recently. He just has a very large variety of builds. SKillous here went for a scout, making sure that his opponent didn't go for a one-gate expansion. I love this play, and is now actually gonna proxy. This is well prepared, because Astrea is someone that absolutely adores these one-gate expansions as well, likes to throw them in, and he plays it very different from someone like MaxPax. When MaxPax plays a one-gate expansion, Lambo, MaxPax is trying to cover every angle. He's like, okay, there's 10 builds that could be going on right now. I want to make sure that I beat every single one of these builds. Astrea looks at these same 10 builds and then says, if I beat 6 out of 10, that's a good percentage win rate for me. I'm happy with that. So he's going to hard counter certain builds way harder and just instantly die against some others. And he's okay with that. So he's a really scary dude to play against, a scary dude to kind of prepare against as well when it comes to that type of one-gate play where versus MaxPax that feels a little bit easier. You can abuse that more. But Astrea, not the case. So I like that SKillous went for that scout here early on. We have Astrea with a straight Stargate, double Adept as well coming out right now. So he's going to use the Adepts to scout. He built the third pylon in the wall here too, as it's just a fake pylon proxy coming out of SKillous. Astrea's entire plan was just not to scout, I guess, or not just scout for proxies. It's a wild move.
Yeah, I mean, Astrea has one lifeline to play with. Ooh. So, well, he misses the probe there with that up. That up saw it, but I guess it was not A-moved. So, the two adepts of Astrea now meet the one adept of SKillous. Thankfully, the Shade was already on the way and doesn't catch the one adept of SKillous. But overall, I have to say I like it a little bit more for Astrea. SKillous didn't go in for the scout. He got to put down the Stargate right away. Also gets to shoot at the adept. Oh no, the adept gets in, so the adept from SKillous can get the scout now. That's also huge.
That's actually a pretty big deal.
Oh, doesn't get it?
It's gonna just get a kill. Sees the lack of a Nexus, sees the lack of unit 5 and 6. Just barely missing the tech, though, is a little bit frustrating. He's going to throw down a robotics facility, which is the only building here that, well, actually, that it was either going to be a Robo or a Twilight Council. And a Twilight Council would have been the correct call, a Robo the incorrect one. This is still not necessarily bad for SKillous because he's up 5 workers, and he just managed to block his opponent's build. Come on, scout the Stargate for the love of God. Oh my God, he didn't get it.
Go to the right? Yeah. Oh no, he knew once you see the two pylons at the front and the one pylon, you know the tech has to be there at the left. He already saw the other side, so that's a blunder from SKillous. As he does see though that there is an attempt at an expansion, and yeah, the Phoenix will need to actually put quite some work in here for Astrea in order to even this game out, because the Nexus is already done for SKillous. So Astrea decides to warp in 2 extra Adepts and now go on the offensive himself, together with the Stalkers, the Adepts, and the Phoenix.
Yeah, and SKillous doesn't feel entirely secure, right? He's building a battery. He's kind of in between. He's not sure what it is. He's like, well, I believe this is Stargate because he canceled his Robo, then went Twilight. But it could also be DT, so he still wants his Robo. He's not really chroning a lot of probes, because if he had known what this was, he would have been chroning probes for the past 35, 40 seconds. And that would have been an absolutely huge deal. I still believe he should continue chroning probes on both bases. That's what he's doing. He's actually not producing anything in the main right now. This is a huge blunder here. Absolutely massive blunder. No worker production in the main base. At the same time, the Adepts are coming forward, but it feels like SKillous dealt more damage to himself there than Astrea dealt to him. An entire Chrono Boost without workers. That is That is painful. That is 3 workers that you're missing.
Yeah, he also did lose 9, so he did... As Astrea also did his part.
Yeah.
And now Astrea is left with 5 Phoenix on the map, but Astrea's actual army is a single stalker. He just now started the Immortal and there's no battery on the low ground. So the moment SKillous moves out, which happened a couple of seconds ago, Astrea is in real danger of losing stuff at his own natural. Blink is not that far away from being done. And there is still no pylon at the natural. So no shield battery is forward or can be built forward. He now recalls the stalker that was on the map just in order to defend.
Yeah.
And now he managed to get 3 stalkers together with the Immortal. It should be enough. But you can poke at the Nexus without any unit being in range of the shield battery. First stalker gets picked off. Oh, he goes super far in, which means the Phoenix can lift units in range of the battery. So that's a big mistake from SKillous.
Yeah, that Immortal timing was so freaking unfortunate there for our Team Liquid Protoss player, as now an Oracle is being built behind this. Astrea's in a god-awful position still. Yeah. His Nexus was so late. He is cutting workers right now as well, or has been cutting workers for a little. He's once again down 6. He's going to be down a base, and his composition is legitimately bad. It is not different. It's just, well, it is also different, but it's also just bad. This is not a good composition. The moment charge is out, this falls off the freaking map. This whatever it is that Astrea is doing right now. He's going to need to play some serious turtling in order to get something done. SKillous with a nice movement downstairs. He's gambling on this is where the Phoenix are going to go. Will be capable of getting 2 Phoenixes if he blinks correctly. Gets whoa. Oh, missed target.
Yeah, missed target at the Phoenix. He had an idea because he saw the direction. The Phoenix left the base with his observer on Astrea's side of the map, so he had a good idea. And now he even went for a second observer to always keep track of the Phoenix. The fake proxy pylon also really helps at this stage to secure map vision, together with a new pylon that is also on the map on the top right-hand side. So SKillous is a good defensive setup, gets one of the Phoenix, should get a second one. Oh, Astrea taking the perfect path there, abusing the little pillar in the middle of Oceanborn that denied the high ground vision from SKillous. But yeah, SKillous is so far ahead. Astrea needs to already pull up a miracle basically here. Come back into this.
Yeah, maybe even more than just a miracle. Maybe a superior miracle is what he needs right now. As we're gonna get the +1 about to finish up as well. Astrea coming in with the Oracle. That is an expensive Oracle. Usually Oracles, they serve a lot of different purposes. They allow you to skip the robotics facility. They can deal damage. They force stalkers at home. That is mainly true before Blink is done and before your third base is going up. Right now, this investment for Astrea just wasn't really worth it. He put 300 resources into a unit that got a single worker kill. He already had a robo, so he didn't get to skip that either. This was a bad investment for him. He wanted to get something done with it, didn't get anything done. SKillous is seeing all of this, by the way. That DT warp in just got spotted, so SKillous is going to be super aware as to what is kicking off right now. He just knows everything. He knows everything. He's ahead, has better upgrades, better eco, better army. Yeah, better army. As long as SKillous doesn't attack into a super battery, I don't think there's any way he can lose a fight.
Yeah, I think Astrea was just hoping to come back with SKillous attacking him, somehow defending, and then making some counter damage happen. Because he skipped the Forge himself. He's going DT Blink. He's trying to pull all the tricks from the book of Protoss bull crap. Yeah, this attack is not good from SKillous though, because the Phoenix can always lift a couple of Stalkers, which means a lot of Stalkers are sacked. He has good focus fire here on the Phoenix, but this is an unnecessary engagement. Into the Immortals, bad misclick there as well to the high ground as he lost the vision. This was completely unnecessary from SKillous. He's still in a very good spot, but I mean that was not pretty.
That was the worst possible fight that he took there, absolutely. Does get the snipe here right now on that one Immortal. Is still up an entire upgrade, soon to be 2 upgrades. Has more gateways as well, so it's not really going to matter very much. Don't forget that SKillous is still ahead in every single metric that we can imagine. Eco, upgrades, army. Well, that's pretty much all there is to it, isn't it? He also has map control. He has better map vision. He's just really freaking far ahead. And Astrea is trying to kind of just turtle up here by building a couple extra batteries. Try to get a cannon there, but yeah. And SKillous is going to blink in forward. Takes out that battery that was green. And now is going to warp in a couple more Stalkers. Should just win the game here straight up. And that means that SKillous is going to be 1 game away from qualifying for the round of 12 for the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice.
This is so unbelievably hype. We're about to see a best of one PvP to see who advances out of the group. And there's a good chance that this is not only your third, but for SKillous this is your third or your fifth. So this is a huge difference in terms of prize money.
Prize money, EPT points.
EPT points, everything is so important. It's a best of one PvP. With two players that are very similarly skilled, it can't really get more hype than this.
Just for the prize money, Lambo. Can we give an indication? Top 12 is what? That's 10k?
That's 10k, yeah.
Ooh.
Top 20, I believe, is 4k.
Yeah.
So that is 6,000 at least. They can still also win. Like if they win, it's 20k. If they just win one more match, so
yeah. And they could even win the tournament then. And then all of a sudden, that gap is like it's huge. It's like 140,000. That's a huge difference, Lambo.
Yeah, I mean, if they win 2 matches, they get 40k. They're also qualified for the World Cup or World Championship, rather. So
it just keeps going. You know, they get bigger sponsor deals. Practically a millionaire if you win this one best of one. It's crazy. Mark Cuban is now your best friend. Shaq comes by in the weekends. He barbecues with you. Oh my god, this is the most important best of one of their lives. And it is being played on Alcyone. PvP. The series is not over yet after this. Don't forget. Well, it might be. If SKillous wins, it is actually over. But it could still go on. But SKillous is already out of the tournament at that point. So, yeah, this is such an important gamer for both of these guys.
Yeah, I mean the series is basically over after this.
Yeah.
I don't think the last map. Like, if you just get eliminated from the tournament, I don't think SKillous will feel too wide about the last one. This is, by all means, it's a best of one on this map right now.
Definitely true. Definitely true. And we're seeing no workers out on the map yet for Astrea. He's not proxying nothing yet. He's actually sending his probe to his ramp. He's gonna wall at the ramp like a normie. Okay.
Like a Norman.
What?
Unbelievable. Oh, I just picked a different word for normie.
Okay. Let's have a look. I like what SKillous did last game, by the way. I appreciated his build order pick. I would love it if he does the exact same thing again. So, Gateway Scout into just still proxying. I think that would be a good call. He's gonna take away some of these minerals.
Yeah, so you do this because the opponent can check and see with the probe AI, if you just move commands there, if the opponent mined the minerals. So there's way more options for potential proxy locations, which means if he goes for the fake proxy, it's going to be a lot harder for Astrea to find out. He went for 15 gate, by the way, SKillous. Is that on purpose, or was it just a mistake based on the nerves?
15 gate?
Yeah, he made the gate before the extra probe.
It could be because he wants a proxy to hit really hard.
But his core is later than Astrea's. I think.
Yeah, I think he might just be nervous. Yeah. Sometimes you do this if you play like a third gate proxy, where the warp gate timing actually matters quite a bit. Like that's, you know, you can have a slightly faster warp in by like 1 or 2 seconds, which is nice. It's like not a super game changing, but it's still nice nonetheless. Both players here with a no, Astrea. I'm not sure if this is a fake proxy or a real proxy. It could be either. It could be one of them late proxies. It's also fashionable these days under the new tosses. Back in my day, we didn't do this. You either fake proxied or you're real proxied, not this in-between garbage that all these zoomers are putting out these days. Look at this. Like, he's gonna move back. This is...
This is a very late proxy Stargate.
Yeah.
Usually, the entire point of proxying the Stargate is that you can make it right away without it being scouted. This is not the case now. Now he basically has a delayed Stargate on the map, so it's also exposed, and it's exposed for scouting. SKillous searches for the proxy locations. He actually lets the probe go inside the main base.
Good call. I think he should have done that immediately.
Yeah.
Because I think you really want to show your opponent that there's no tech in your main base, and also that these adepts, that they finished exactly at a normal timing. Because then this proxy actually makes some sense. Because right now this feels so much like basically a fake proxy. If I'm SKillous here, SKillous is still going to scout, but I'm not sure if many others would have done that. SKillous though, he's smart. He says, hey, I know Astrea is a tricky player. I want to figure out what this dude's up to. He's going to shade on forward. He's going to see the nexus, or well, the lack of a nexus. Oh my god, this Stalker just barely not getting it. Oh, Look at SKillous' vision, what he has seen and what he isn't seeing. That is so crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, he's blocking the 2 adapts now, and he will get at least one of these adapts, I think, before the recall will be done. Never mind, he didn't follow the shade. So Astrea ended up getting one of the probes. SKillous also forces a cancel there. The Oracle will now enter SKillous' main base. There is a shield battery in position, though. SKillous also has one adept that killed 2 probes on Astrea's side and somehow stayed alive, and Astrea forgot about it, which is just crazy to me. So that's very annoying for him. The stasis ward goes down, catches 2 probes actually, so 1 more than you're supposed to lose there in terms of mining. But overall, decent defense from SKillous.
Yeah, SKillous has a lot of gas, by the way. Is also should be a little bit afraid of getting supply blocked here. Yeah, he's forgetting his pylon. Mechanics are a little bit sloppy here on the side of SKillous. He's up 6 workers though. This position, once again, is just a good position for SKillous. Both players had to delay their Nexus, which actually is nice for the Blink player. Like, especially if you have a higher work count. This Nexus is still faster, but it's fairly delayed. Just have to basically defend a single base, and that is very doable with 3 Stalkers right now. You're not so afraid of, like, double Adept in your natural either. You can keep everything in a single base, even try to take a bit of map control with 2 more Stalkers. Robotics facility gets built instantly. SKillous is a little bit afraid. Like, this is a crazy timing for a robotics facility against a double Oracle opener. But it's gonna work! It's a Dark Shrine.
It's a Dark Shrine. I mean, that robo will be done in time. More than in time for this.
4 observers and a prism.
Can make 2 Immortals and still have detection by the time the DTs will be
gonna go for a Colossus drop. He'll hit before. Oh no.
Oh, he catches the 2 adapts. Honestly, this is looking really rough for Astrea. Yeah. Nothing has worked out so far. He's now killing a couple of workers. This is the best base that he could have attacked because the 2 Stalkers went out and chased the adept, so that's nice. He's evening up the worker counts. It's not over by any means. His Nexus was way later, and he still has 2 Oracles on the map, which forces SKillous to always leave some stuff at home. So it's not like SKillous can just move across the map because he has way more Stalkers and kill him. Because he's up 6 Stalkers right now, so it's considerable. But now actually that he chased back the Oracles, he saw where the Oracles went. He trusts himself to move out with everything. The Stalkers at the top followed them all the way back. He's gonna catch this adept as well, isn't he?
Yes, he really is going to catch that adept. That's another free unit here. There is a battery done, though, defensively. And at the same time, a DT run by could still deal damage if there are no units at home. Don't forget that. Yes, there is detection. That doesn't mean SKillous has a defense. These 2 DTs actually have the potential to change the outcome here of this game, of this series, of who makes it to the round of 12. Super Battery gets activated. Blink not quite done yet. Observer on the side of SKillous is not staying at home as the 2 DTs make their way over. Second Observer is there. Is gonna spot it. Stalker warping defensively. He's gonna be capable of dealing with this. This is a huge defense here for SKillous, who's just gonna take care just of the defense first. Stop the attack here for a little bit, just to make sure that DTs can't sneak by. I think this second DT might still get caught by the returning ops. No, not quite the case. As it does manage to escape towards the watchtower. That was a very, very tense moment. SKillous building double observers there completely saved him.
Yeah, and he is going for double forge as well behind it. SKillous had so many small victories that now reflect in the Stalker count that he thinks, okay, I can get away with just starting double forge upgrades and then get further ahead this way. Later down the line, his third Nexus once again is faster as well. He did stop pro production, so he's not that far ahead anymore in economy. Probably will be by the time Astrea's third Nexus is done though. And it's looking good for the Russian.
I'm really surprised by the double forge. And then I was even more surprised by the cannon before any extra gateways. Like, I'm almost certain that SKillous thought that he already threw down gateway 3 and 4, because that is really kind of pushing it. Or he felt super comfortable in his Stalker count, and just in his general setup. But that's a difficult read to make in a game as chaotic as this one. So if that is the case, then kudos to him for being capable of reading that. It's gonna walk straight into a stasis. This should trigger a base trade-ish vibe. No.
Oh, he blinked forward to the DT, and the Stalkers catch SKillous Stalkers. The first good trade in a while here for Astrea. That was really good. The Stalkers still completely exposed. Gets the Observer as well. Great trade here from Astrea. This is exactly what he needs to get back into the game. SKillous actually cancelling the second Forge. Now still doesn't have enough Stalkers here. The Stalkers are caught so far away from the base. Another stasis ward being placed here in front of SKillous' third base. And that evened out the position a little bit. Oh my god, he walks into the next one, which means go time for Astrea. He has more active stalkers than SKillous. He knows he's behind, so he's still afraid. Even though he just got a bunch of stalkers and 5 extra stalkers on top of it are frozen. But he blinks forward on top of SKillous' stalkers. Good blink back there from SKillous. So Astrea being a little bit over-eager there. He needs to watch out now because I guess he's trying to bait into the next stasis ward. If it worked twice, what are the chances? SKillous just walks into the third one as well.
Nah, he's not gonna fall for that trick. He cancelled his second forge, by the way. I didn't notice that earlier, but he did end up cancelling that just to be a little bit safer. Oracle's now coming back at a weird angle. Astrea needs to be careful because that is really one of the only things that's keeping him alive in this game. The fact that there's stasis wards everywhere, that you have good vision with the revelations, that's definitely helping our American Protoss players, who has a lot of cash in the bank, by the way. He's getting a fort base, still floating about 1,200 minerals, massively supply blocked here.
Yeah, massively supplied. Not anymore. SKillous a bunch of stalkers in the center. Blinked forward to catch one stalker. SKillous saw that, knew that the stalkers couldn't retreat. Blinked forward to take a good trade towards the end of it. SKillous once again, his fort base is faster. His upgrades are still faster. He's still very much so ahead in this game. He also has a lot of stack defense already. Yeah, I mean, I like SKillous' position overall. He also has a War Prism out on the map. But Astrea, with these stasis wards and with the good stalker trades, evening it out a little bit at least. Giving himself a fighting chance here.
Yeah, for sure. SKillous is wanting to hit a timing here. There's no battery yet on this low ground. Astrea a little bit out of position. No stasis wards either. SKillous blinks forward. He's feeling it. He wants to get into that round of 12, and he is so darn close right now. His +2 is going to finish much quicker as well. Has more gateways for reinforcements. No static defense available. Concave a little bit better for SKillous on top of that. And I think this base is going to fall. Astrea will need to give it up if he wants to remain in this game.
Yeah, he's supply blocked right now, so he can't even start any extra units. One Immortal in production, but that will not be out in time to save him here. And now we're looking at a 4-base SKillous against a 3-base Astrea, who was completely out of position here. And he's now also just not on the unit counts anymore to be competitive with SKillous. He's down 10 stalkers. At this point, 16 stalkers less than what SKillous has on the map. And SKillous' stalkers even have an upgrade advantage. Once again, he's trying to blink towards the left, trying to maybe catch the War Prism. Oh man, this is some really scary moments for Astrea here.
Yeah, better upgrades for SKillous. SKillous taking his gold base, the 5th base here, before Astrea can even secure his own 4th. And the only thing that Astrea can reasonably do at this point is cannon up on 3 bases and try to go into a robo-boy. I think taking a 4th base at this point is almost naive in a way. There's no way you can hold that. You've been getting outmined. You're gonna keep getting outmined. You have probably gonna get worse production than your opponent. You have worse upgrades. Stalker versus Stalker fight should be practically impossible at this point.
Yeah, he added one Immortal in. I think he's still gonna try. He has so many resources in the bank. He just can't spend his money. He can't keep up with SKillous right now, who's going for the Zealot run by. He at least picked off the War Prism of SKillous, Astrea that is. So maybe now he's gonna try to do that. He's on 6 gas. I'm very surprised to not see the Robo Bay. Yeah. Because, I mean, that is the most standard way of coming back. But even if he goes for the Robo Bay, SKillous is on 5 bases with a gold base. He can just start his own Robo Bay and then play from there. It's just a nightmare here for Astrea on Al-Sayoni.
Yeah, I mean, this game, it should never be possible for Astrea to take a forward base before he maxes out. Unless SKillous seriously messes up, it should just not be possible. He's going to be down in upgrades once +3 finishes. He should be down in army count this entire time as well. I'm actually, yeah, I was going to say I'm surprised that we haven't seen any extra gateways yet, but here they come. 4 more gateways coming out of SKillous right here. SKillous also has vision with these observers, has a Zealot on every base that Astrea could potentially take, as the income is going to start leaning very heavily into SKillous' favor the moment that gold base starts fully mining, and that's what's happening right now. Astrea is going to be camping here on those 3 bases, just sitting back, relaxing, stasis wards. Look at that! Look at that observer, by the way. Okay, yeah, it's going to get spotted here. I was like, that's a bit over-eager, I think. And this is perhaps the point where Astrea wants to finally expand towards a fort, but without a better unit composition or a different unit composition, how is he planning on taking good fights? I don't quite understand it, Lambo.
Probably just taking good fights with static defense, defensive engagements where he has a good concave. Is his plan right now? That's a blink forward from SKillous, which I don't like because Astrea Stalkers have not yet blinked, which means he can still avoid a lot of SKillous' shots, whereas most of SKillous' Stalkers are forced to engage. I wish Astrea would fan out his Stalkers a little bit more so he would get a little bit of a better concave. as this fight so far went pretty well for Astrea. Obviously, any trade that SKillous can get is good for him because he's just out-mining Astrea by so much. But I think it would be better to maybe rotate around towards the bottom side and try to attack that fort base, as he spotted it now that it is going up, sending a couple of zealots there to deny it, while also engaging at the same time into the stalkers of Astrea. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Astrea. Good concave now. It's very difficult for SKillous to engage into this, and this is how Astrea wants to come back. Just take good defensive engagements, hope for your opponent to throw, instead of trying to make something happen yourself.
Yeah, he still has that Blink DT availability as well, so maybe once he gets a little bit of cash, can do something with that. Astrea is actually going to hold his fort base, which is kind of scary here for SKillous, where it felt like SKillous had a lot of room to just kill these outside bases. Now, if this one goes up, Astrea might have somewhat of a reasonable path back into this game. He's still going to be down in upgrade. He's still going to be down in income. But it's not like SKillous is on 85 workers. Now, SKillous is a relatively low worker count, as these zealots are going to get cleaned up by the stalkers. Eventually, the superior concave defensively, as well as the added-in help of the batteries, definitely helping out Astrea a bunch. That is a wild blink forward. Holy crap.
Yeah, wild blink forward from SKillous. I don't like this blink forwards. He's blinking into a concave and cannot micro back his stalkers. I can't state how many shots of SKillous are wasted because Astrea's stalkers can still blink back, whereas SKillous loses the opportunity the moment he blinks forward. SKillous just tries to make it happen right here, right now, but Astrea has a good defensive position and he even has a super battery here. The Zealots basically don't participate in the fight. The Zealots now finally go forward. SKillous once again blinking forward. Astrea with a lot of stalkers on move command here, which is very bad for him. Finally, the concave of Astrea is somewhat broken, as SKillous is starting to trade a little bit better. The Zealots also now finally connecting with Astrea's army. The shield batteries are out of energy. The one armor upgrade helping out a lot. Some stalkers of SKillous though distracted at the natural of Astrea.
Yeah, the stalker count is fairly even at this point, but the ability to reproduce this army is much bigger here for SKillous than it is for Astrea. These extra gateways helping out. 16 versus 8. Much better income here as well for our Liquid Protoss player, who seems to be slowly but surely inching towards that round of 12. Astrea still staying in, losing 20 workers here. Fort base still not mining. A couple of zealots are being sent over there right now. But even this main fight is going to be a struggle. Batteries ran out of energy. No super battery available. And losing that concave is enough for SKillous to win with a 2-0 score. And as a result, manages to get into the round of 12 of Intel Extreme Masters Katowice.
Damn. What a game by SKillous. Very clean from start to finish.